Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel Breaking News TV. We are here again with another breaking news.
World War III, how U.S.-North Korea nuclear talks have increased conflict fears despite Trump boasts. World War III would have started already if people had listened to former U.S. President Barack Obama, Donald Trump claimed today, but despite the White House chief's boasts, his foreign policy with North Korea may have actually risked future conflict. Mr. Trump arrived in London for today's opening of the NATO Leaders Summit, where division is already apparent before talks have even commenced. But during a press conference at the U.S. ambassador's residence in London, Mr. Trump took the opportunity to boast of his dealings with North Korea and disarmament talks while also making a scathing assessment of his predecessor. Mr. Trump said, "We'd be in a war if it weren't for me. If I weren't president, we'd be in a war, sick. If you listened to President Obama, we'd be in World War III right now." Despite the president's confidence, however, his negotiations with various nations haven't always led to cordial exchanges and has even seen hostile relations escalate into material threat. One example of this is Washington's handling of North Korea negotiations, which have largely faltered despite President Trump's efforts. In this morning's press conference, Mr. Trump said North Korean Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un likes sending rockets up, doesn't he? That's why I call him Rocket Man. Just last week, North Korea tested two short-range projectiles in the latest of what has been a flurry of disconcerting nuclear missile tests in the second half of this year. There have now been 9 missile tests since May 4, and the intensified weapons flaunting has coincided with disastrous negotiations for the U.S. president. In October, the two leaders met in Stockholm, but the talks in Sweden broke off with the North's envoy saying the U.S. failed to show flexibility. Progress has been few and far between since fallout between both countries in Hanoi in February. The negotiations in Vietnam had initially looked promising when a reporter asked Kim whether he was considered denuclearization, to which the North Korean president responded, "If I'm not willing to do that, I wouldn't be here right now." However, just hours later a scheduled lunch between Trump and Kim, as well as a potential joint signing ceremony, was cancelled as talks ultimately fell flat. Trump said in a press conference following the meeting that Kim had requested sanctions be lifted, to which the U.S. president said, "Basically, they wanted the sanctions lifted in their entirety and we couldn't do that. We had to walk away from that particular suggestion. We had to walk away from that." The U.S. has requested that North Korea give up its nuclear weapons before any reward can be offered, but Kim deems this to be impossible as it would be, in his view, political suicide. There are plans for talks before the New Year's negotiations deadline, but North Korea has sent a fresh warning to President Trump today in an attempt to secure concessions. North Korean diplomat Ri Thae-song said in a statement on Tuesday that it is the U.S. decisions that will impact the North Koreans' actions over the next few weeks. He told the state's news agency, "Drawing nearer is the year-end time limit the DPRK set for the U.S. What is left to be done now is the U.S. option, and it is entirely up to the U.S. what Christmas gift it will select to get." While President Trump remains confident in his negotiations with the regime in North Korea, its warnings are growing along with frequent nuclear tests, indicating that tensions are far from resolved.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe for our channel.